Only 14 of us were left against their hundreds. We took up positions beneath the bodies of our fallen brothers. As we lay in wait, the blood from the dead poured over us. The sand stuck to our skin like a shroud, changing us, anointing us. When the enemy drew near, we, the remaining 14, rose out of the desert sand. We were like hunters that couldn't be seen. Using stealth, our enemies couldn't defend against. When we ran dry of ammunition, we used our blades, and when the blades ran dull, we used our hands. When the dust and sand had settled, only one of the enemy had survived. He was picked up in the desert, wandering aimlessly, traumatized. He expressed warnings to others of us as a force so menacing and unbeatable it could only be described as supernatural. He called us ghosts. We fear nothing, we cannot be killed, for we are dead already. We are ghosts.
What about Batman, dude?
Don't you dare talk about that yellow dude. He's scary. He eats everything. And he even killed my grandpa ghost, Blinky.
Well, you don't worry about him. And check out our review of Call of Duty Ghost minus the Pac-Man.
Call of Duty Ghost, although derives in name from one of the most prominent characters of Modern Warfare series, but it is neither related to Modern Warfare nor the Ghost in Modern Warfare 2 is any of the mentioned characters here. Instead, this is a tale set in altogether different future where South American oil-producing countries rise up as federation and revolt against America. The first attack comes from space, where their joint venture space satellite holding connect rods are thrown towards US to bring the country to rubble. But the US still lives on and fights back, even though their beautiful cities are now just crumbled, shattered rubble. The game sets you in a family of two brothers fighting for the defense while your father acts as your mentor. The story tells of elite class of soldiers called ghosts, and even though myth to many, but the brothers will come in their company eventually to be recruited to become ghost members themselves. The story of the game does set a nice background for a variety of rubble-filled maps for you to traverse in mid of America, but it also cooks up into too much complex and nuisance tale over time. Storylines in Call of Duty series have always had their ups and downs, but Ghost easily wins the award for most erratic and superficial story of them all. You will experience your usual high-speed pacing of the game, never-ending gunfights, cinematic, Michael Bay-inspired explosions, treachery and twists as any other Call of Duty, which is actually sad as the game does not try to reinvent itself, even though with the next gen coming and Modern Warfare trilogy at a closure provided the perfect time for the series to evolve. The game still feels your typical on-the-rails shooter, with your brother holding your finger throughout the linear levels, guiding you what to do next. There are an impressive variety of missions and things you will be doing, from regular gunfights to underwater sequences, rappelling down skyscrapers, stealth killing, controlling your pet dog, remote sniping, using hand-controlled torpedo, space station fights, flying Apache helicopter, or even dodging sharks. But in the end, it's all so linear that you either do exactly how you are guided or else you will fail. There is no other option. For example, once in a while, I would like to be left alone and think for myself. Take example of a simple tank in my way. What should I do? I should be able to think for myself, but the game will put all the baby steps on the screen of where to pick up an anti-tank launcher and how and when to fire. Same goes for every other tool that you will get. For example, remote sniper was a great addition. When I was suppressed under fire, I could use remote sniper to flank and kill enemies, but I could do that only when the game wanted me to do so. If I wanted to use it off my free will, then that was not a possibility. If you always thought Call of Duty series was too much like a pre-programmed ride, then Ghost just gives you more tools along the same ride where your own choices do not matter at all. The single-player campaign, although explosive, but has lost the grip that Modern Warfare or Black Ops games had. The series has become too predictable in both its twists and gameplay. The game does carry a handsome 10-hour plus gameplay hours in its campaign, but without the freedom of movement and one after another scripted encounter, it is just destroying a long-beloved franchise. And I just fear that soon we are looking at another Medal of Honor fiasco here. Coming to the multiplayer of the game, it is more refreshing than the single player portion. A lot of things have been shaken up here, and mostly for the good. First of all, Activision has started dedicated servers all over the world, and no longer you are limited to P2P lobbies. This will definitely improve lag, even though private and public P2P lobbies will still keep operating to compensate for the players above the dedicated server limits. Call of Duty 4 was the first one to introduce weapon unlocking, which has become a staunch multiplayer experience in all of the games now. But Ghost renovates the whole progression system via create a soldier option. First of all, the linear unlocks are gone. You don't have to waste hundreds of hours to grind up to a particular gun. Instead, the fixed sequence of unlocking items has been replaced by credits, which you earn to rank up. With credits, you can buy any weapon or attachment as you like in any sequence. A lovely option for gamers like me who don't want an ACOG scope on a shotgun and want something useful instead. There is a new weapon category also called marksman rifles, which fit in between sniper and assault rifles. Those who loved CAR or M1 Garand in Call of Duty 2 would welcome this change, as these provide fast pace than sniper while better range and control than assault rifles. The addition of dogs, although criticized and made fun of a lot, does add value to the gameplay in both single player as well as multiplayer. Being super hard to kill, very agile and allowing instant kill, they are really neat kill streak rewards. For the first time, you can pick up visual customizations for your soldiers too. Those who like fine-tuning will love the whole plethora of perks, visual customization, weapon attachments, and field upgrades to fine-tune your multiple soldier squads. Talking of the squads, for the first time ever, the game has official bot support. This is something I so wanted in Call of Duty 4 just to experience and practice for multiplayer. But now it's here in form of squads, where your own customized soldiers become bots to play either with you or against you. The game has lots of other game modes, from deathmatch to single point capture and defense in blitz. There are a few new ones there too, but in overall public games, when the timer starts, it is like a beehive nest has been disturbed and everyone is just running frantically everywhere. This has been a trait of Call of Duty series for quite some time now, and it does not change now. It's more arcade fun rather than the tactical attack defense gameplay that you encounter in Counter-Strike or Battlefield 4. It is not a bad thing, because it is this simplicity that sells this game. And on the other hand also, I don't like to compare Battlefield to Call of Duty series as well, as they both provide a different type of gameplay for different kind of players. Just as no one should compare Assassin's Creed to Splinter Cell, even though both are third-person games. Similarly, Battlefield and Call of Duty are different breed of games, even though both are first-person shooters. The game has done a few detailed changes to how you play, which are in the favor of good balancing. For example, maps are slightly bigger to give you some breathing space. This also emphasizes use of marksman as well as assault rifles, which were nearly ignored in the series due to small range maps where overpowered SMGs ruled the day. Ground War game mode is especially useful if you prefer slightly bigger maps with more players on the server. Sniper scopes give you peripheral vision now with the surrounding blurred out, which gives you slightly better awareness of anyone approaching outside the scope zone. Quick scoping aim assist has been reduced. There is contextual lean now at wall edges, but my favorite change is the single knee slide. Hold the deck key while sprinting will make your soldier slide on the ground to prone position. Press it for a little while only and you will slide and then start running again. A beautiful way to dodge enemy fire without breaking your pace. I would also specially like to commend the addition of field orders. What they do is give you bonus objectives in regular matches. For example, you may be asked to perform a melee kill, or perform a headshot, or get a kill via your secondary weapon only. If you die before completing the order, then the field order drops on the ground and anyone else can pick up and complete it for additional XP. A very small change, but it made my matches in Free For All or Jason Statham inspired Crank mode much more fun by giving mini objective to fulfill along the way. Another new and good addition to multiplayer side is the co-op focus extension mode. It combines the elements of Spec Ops, Nazi Zombies and Left 4 Dead formula to give a unique flavor of its own as you build defenses and survive horde attacks of alien mutants. It provides a nice change of pace from typical game modes. Visually, the game will disappoint PC gamers. With a game size spanning over 30 GB, I really expected some next-gen visuals, given that there are enhanced effects and details, but sadly under the new paint job, it's still the same old rehashed Call of Duty which hasn't changed much since the early days of Call of Duty 4. Adding dogs or fish intelligence is all nice, but there is a limit to what the engine can be pushed to do, and Call of Duty has already passed that age. I still like its contrast of colors against Battlefield series with the higher saturation and clean outlines make the players stand out from the background, but underneath the graphic engine is begging for an upgrade. The game release on PC has not been smooth. The mouse had lag issues, graphics stutter even when I play on a GTX 780 card, and sometimes in the menus the frame completely drop and leave the interface non-responding. It's not a pretty sight at all. We did not expect these minor issues in such a game with such an old engine. Overall, the game left me with mixed feelings. It is one of the low points in Call of Duty series when it comes to single player, even though the single player did contain some memorable missions. While on the other side, the multiplayer has been enhanced with lots of fresh ideas, even though still it is too arcadish and non-tactical. The game will still sell millions of copies thanks to the loyal fan following, but Activision would leave many fans heartbroken with this their latest attempt.
So that's it for our main feature. Hope you liked the review. Overall, it may be still a great game, but it's us who have outgrown its gimmicks. That's it for this week, and do leave your comment telling us what do you think of Call of Duty Ghost, and you could be a lucky winner of Magica Steam Key. That's it for this week. Hopefully see you next time inshallah also. Take care. Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum.